Welcome to the 21st century, where tiny colored squares in rectangular pieces of steel allow you to communicate to thousands, if not millions, of people from all over the world. Where you can be completely anonymous, or you can go around telling random people what you eat for every single meal. Hi, my name is Amber, and I'm 17 years old, and I like to make art. I post and sell my art on various social media platforms. And honestly, I can say that social media has given me a job. Wait, what? Social media? You mean the place with all the filters and the crazy fangirls? What I mean by that is because of social media and because of the internet, I know what I want to do for the rest of my life. So 4 years ago, I was bored one day and I decided to make my first drawing. I'll admit, it is not my best work, but it will always remain special to me because it is my first drawing. And on December 5th, 2012, I decided to make an Instagram account where I would start to post my drawings. My first photo got around 2 likes, one of them being my mom and the other one being myself, but it was just a hobby for me back then. But somehow, as I continued to post art, and through all the shout-outs and the collaborations, my account has grown to where it is today, which is at 28,000 followers. And at the same time, my passion and my love for art has grown as well. So social media to many people may seem like a waste of time, something that has no value. Some place that teenagers go to stalk their favorite celebrities or to complain about school. But what most people don't realize is that it can absolutely change someone's life. It changed mine, and today I'm here to talk about how social media can affect the distribution of art. But more importantly, I'm here to talk about empowerment and how things like one misspelled word can change everything. So when I started to post my art online, I realized that there was this sort of golden principle that artists seem to follow, and it involved knowing your audience. Because unlike traditional freelance artists, you're not making one specific work for one specific customer. Rather, you're making work for thousands of people who come from different countries, who have different interests as you, different age groups and different genders. And somehow, you have to know what kind of art they want to see, and you have to be able to deliver accordingly. Now, I'm not saying that you should disregard your own interests or never make work that you want to make. But the truth is, on the internet, a huge chunk of your success comes from if your audience likes your content. But here's the trick. To some extent, you can choose who your audience is. What I mean by this is the basic human concept of you attract what you are. So if I'm a female teenager who likes to read books and listen to music, and I make art that caters to those interests, eventually my audience is going to consist of female teenagers who like to read books and listen to music. And with Instagram, what's so amazing is that there starts to be this connection between the creator and the audience. Because although you may have similar interests, you may sometimes put out work that isn't so great, and your audience can tell you that. Just like how an actor on stage receives feedback in real time, you receive that feedback as well, from your audience liking or not liking your photos, or from them commenting constructive criticism. And you can take that advice and you can use it to further develop yourself as an artist. But those are just the good parts. And we all know that there are bad parts as well, because this is the internet. People can say and do whatever they want, and they don't care how it affects you. So in June 2015, I made a drawing for a song that I was obsessed with at the time. It was called Bright by Echo Smith. I posted that drawing up, and somehow Echo Smith saw it and posted it on their various social media platforms. That was so surreal to me, and a few days later, someone contacted me saying, "Hey, we want to put this design on official Echo Smith merchandise." And at first, I was a bit skeptical because this is the internet, home to clickbaits and pop-up scams. But with a little more research, it turned out to be pretty legitimate. The person worked for Warner Brothers Records, and eventually they did put my design on official merchandise, and they gave me credit as well. So that was amazing. And a few days later, Echo Smith posted this photo on their Instagram page. Everything was fine until I read the caption. So they gave me credits and everything, but they had spelled my name wrong. So naturally, I commented saying, "Hey, thank you so much, but you kind of spelled my name wrong." And people were also trying to get them to change it, but there wasn't really anything that we could do. I was obviously a little bit upset, but I was like, you know what, it's okay, this is still a great opportunity, let's just try to move on. And I was curious, so I decided to click on the misspelled username, and I saw this. And I was so confused because, by the way, that isn't me. And I didn't know what this person wanted. Was he trying to gain followers, or was he trying to claim that he made this drawing? Basically, he was trying to impersonate me. And to make matters worse, when people started to support and defend me, he started to say the most vulgar things and insulted not only me, but Warner Brothers Records and my audience as well. In the end, all was well. Echo Smith did change the caption, and today I have no idea what has happened to that impersonator. So from this, we can see so many sides of the internet. We can see the wonderful opportunities that can come from the internet. But we can also see how easy it is for someone to impersonate you or to say things to hurt you. One misspelled word unraveled this entire situation. And going back to the golden principle I mentioned earlier, it was so important that I had that connection with my audience. Because if they hadn't completely flooded the comment section of Echo Smith, I doubt they would have noticed the misspelling. And if my audience and I hadn't built that relationship over the past few years, I doubt they would have even bothered to leave a comment. It's so important to be someone who your audience looks up to and respects enough that they are willing to defend you, because that relationship will go a long way. So diving more into the whole stealing of art kind of topic, we can see that it's a huge ongoing problem, especially for artists who put their work online. Because when you put your work online, you're not exactly trademarking it legally in government records or anything. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it's pretty expensive to do so. And I'm just a 17-year-old girl who likes to make art. I don't exactly have the resources to do that. And that disadvantage does come with its price. Plagiarism is another huge issue for artists on social media. I have had people steal and try to replicate my work and claim it as their own, and I've even had people try to sell them online. But there's nothing I can really do. All I can try to do is, even though I'm upset or I feel betrayed, is to try to brush it off and if ever, take it as a compliment. I mean, as my mom told me, imitation is the best form of flattery. So, even though if I try to block and report every single person who tries to steal my work, it doesn't stop them from creating 10 more accounts to do exactly the same thing. And it doesn't stop future anonymous people from trying to steal not only my work, but work of other artists as well. Because artists do technically have a right to their work, but in the world of the web, it's just so hard to keep track of. And so putting your art online is also taking a massive risk. And as creators ourselves, we need to be mindful of the kind of art that we put out there. For example, when I started my account, I was posting lyric drawings, so drawings of my favorite songs. But as my account grew and as I started to sell my drawings online, I had to be mindful of what I put up on sale. Immediately, my lyric drawings could not be on sale because it would be so hypocritical of me. Here I am complaining about my work getting stolen, yet at the same time I would be trying to sell content that singers, producers, and songwriters have worked so hard on. And I'll be honest with you, I've gotten countless requests to do so. And I also know that if I did, my sales would probably double or triple. And I also know that I can get away with it, because when you're on the internet as much as I am, you start to see the scams and the unfair methods that people use for their own benefit, and you see them get away with it. And the temptation to do the same is always present. But and this may sound really cheesy, but staying true to your morals and having a clear conscience is worth so much more than a couple of dollars. So yes, the internet is a great place, but we must also remember that there is a real world out there. You have this connection with your audience, but they are real people who are going through real problems. And if you can somehow use social media and use art that inspires them, and if you can just be there for them in general, then you have the power to make a real difference. As many of you might know, in 2013, my country of the Philippines was hit by a typhoon and an earthquake all in the span of a month. The casualties and the damages were devastating, and it was such a hard time for our country. I made this drawing where Bangon means rise, and Sugbohol were the places affected by the earthquake, one of them being my hometown. And I created a campaign called #AmbiSDollar, where for every share or repost that this drawing or this photo got, I would donate $1 to a movement that helped rebuild the homes of those affected. Somehow we were able to garner enough shares to help the movement and to raise international awareness. And personally, being able to donate to a fundraiser that was able to rebuild the homes of more than 5,000 families just in time for Christmas was such a fulfilling experience for me. So yes, social media does have its positive impacts, and it can be used for a force of good if it's done right. You can have international exposure or different business opportunities. But like any brand or any enterprise, the trade-offs are something to be mindful of. Whether it's waking up at 7 a.m. just to post a drawing during a time that is most suitable for your audience halfway across the world because of time differences, or if it's learning how to juggle your schoolwork and your online presence, it's not going to be easy. The pressure will get to you. The pressure almost always gets to me. But in the end, it's going to be worth it because you're going to be doing something that you love to do. So yes, I guess I can say that social media has given me a job. It's allowed me to meet so many wonderful people, and it's taught me how to deal with the not so wonderful people. And it's crazy because 4 years ago, I never would have thought that I would be standing in front of all of you today, giving a talk about art. And to be honest, I don't know where my Instagram account is going to be in 10 years, but what I do know is that I'll probably still have a paintbrush in my hand. So if there's anything I've learned in the past 4 years, or through my experiences online, it's be nice, be firm yet kind with your words, and please pursue what you love to do because you never ever know where it's going to take you. Thank you and have a great day.